How to know if your child is bullied at school. Bullying is one of the most common problems in schools today. Because of this, you have to be very attentive to any signs that could indicate that your child is bullied. Bullying is a form of harassment or psychological and physical abuse that occurs between school children on a regular basis or over a long period of time. This type of behavior starts even when children are between the ages of 3 and 6 years old. How do you know if your child is a victim of bullying? How to not respond with aggression if someone does something to them. They should be aware that they can talk about any problems and express their feelings, doubts, or fears with their family members. They must feel like they are free to talk with their parents, siblings, or other relatives. If you don't have good communication with your child, you'll never be able to tell if they're being harassed. Your child could be afraid and wouldn't dare mention it to be at home out of shame. You also might observe certain behaviors that indicate things aren't going well at school or with their friends. Behaviors that might indicate that your child is bullied. They don't want to attend school. They may invent ailments to avoid going to school but are perfectly healthy when you take them to the doctor. You should encourage your child to explain why they don't want to go. Build trust so they feel free to talk about what's bothering them, why they feel bad, or why they want to avoid school. Changes in behavior. Slowly and gradually. They get nervous when they have to go to school and their mood changes. They could suffer from fits of anger, violence, or become very irritable. In adolescent boys, it's sometimes difficult to distinguish these behaviors and recognize them as warning signs, because they can be more habitual. You must be aware that the trigger for these changes is harassment, however. Losing school supplies or clothing. Your child might start to lose personal items or school materials. Bullies often use this system as a way to intimidate them. They start asking for money, just to give it to the bully. Blackmail is typical of bullies. Inaki Pinuel, an expert on psychological violence and harassment and a professor at the University of Alcala, explains that most of the time, the harassment suffered by school children is psychological. For this reason, the most common symptom is psychosomatic. Psychosomatic symptoms. Your child might have different physical symptoms even when the harassment is psychological. Some of the most frequent signs are pain upon waking up, dizziness and headaches, digestive problems or lack of appetite, tremors and palpitations, sleep disorders, change in performance at school. they might become disinterested in their schoolwork, losing concentration and attention. What should parents do if they suspect their child is suffering from bullying? If you've determined that your child is a victim of bullying or harassment, the first thing to do is avoid blaming them or yourself. Just because this has happened doesn't mean you're a bad parent. Your child should feel safe and sound in their home. They should know that they're not alone and that they can always count on you for help and to listen. If you find that they're being bullied, stay calm. Don't show concern. Your child needs to see determination, a positive attitude, and strength of character. It's important to go to the school and talk with a responsible person. They will help you find the right way to resolve this conflict. Communication must be maintained with the school so that you can count on their support and help both children receive a better education in non-aggression. Emphasis should be placed on tolerance, friendship, and mutual respect to help them grow up to be responsible adults. Your home is the main source of love and education for your children. It's there that they will learn values and behaviors. Be aware of this and avoid confrontation, as well as physical and verbal aggression, so they don't start to mimic it elsewhere.